On today's show, we'll be making rosemary and cherry farro with seasonal vegetables. Yummy. The first thing we want to do is get our farro on. Now, farro is a grain, and it's a great alternative to having rice or pasta. I tell you, if you start counting calories, you're going to want to use farro. So let me just get that out. There are a couple of things about farro that I want to advise you to do. Now, here is the farro all washed, and it does look like barley, looks like spelt, and it's just really good for you. This has been washed. You want to wash that several times. Leave it under that vigorously running water and move it around with your hands. That way, you're going to get off a lot of the other things that you just don't need on that farro, right? From going through the grain and so forth, or going through the fields, I mean. All right, so I'm just gonna dump that in. I'll tell you what I have in the pan. This is chicken stock, and I've also thrown in a rosemary sprig, which is extremely aromatic, and it just bumps up the farro a whole lot. Now, I'm gonna add another thing to it. Let me get out some of these delicious, beautiful vegetables that we will be adding to the farro. I'm going to hold on to this one. This is, while not a vegetable, it's a fruit. It's cherry. These are dried cherries, and I'm just going to take my knife to them just a little bit. And that is what I'm doing now is I want to create a delicious taste sensation for every bite. Now, some I'm not going to cut up, I'm going to leave whole. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to get a little bite with every fork or spoonful. And then I want some of the cherries to burst right in my mouth, okay? So, there. And I'm guessing this is probably 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. So, we've got that in there. I'm gonna just stir that around. Ooh, this smells really, really good. And the combination of the sweet cherries with the rosemary, that is a very delicious flavor profile together, the two of them. Just absolutely fabulous. Now, another thing I wanna do is I'm gonna add some fresh ground pepper to it. You could eat that all by itself. So, as you can see, it's coming back to a boil, which is what we want. And then I'm going to cover it. I'm going to reduce the temperature, and we are going to let that cook for 20 minutes. That's why we put that on first. So, just a quick recap. Wash your farro very thoroughly under vigorously running water. Use your hands in there to make sure that you're wiping off any of the dust and powders and debris, and then put it into the boiling water, all right? 1 cup of farro to 2 cups of your liquid, which can be water. That's the same ratio for rice. So quick and easy. I'm adjusting the temperature to turn it down so it can finish cooking without me having to go in there so often. Very good. So we've got that going. The next thing we want to do is start preparing and getting our veggies to go. Now, one thing I want in the farro to cook as well, and I'm going to just adjust my temperature over here for sauteing the onions. I'm going to saute red onions. You can use whatever onion that you like, but again, I love all of nature's colors and flavors and so forth. So I'm going to use part of these red onions. I'm going to add just some extra virgin olive oil to the pan. All right, so we have our oil in the pan, and we're gonna let that get hot just a little bit. I'll tell you what these things are. This is what farro looks like, dry. See that? Just a grain, you know, little like the size of a boreal rice, and that's what it looks dry. So I'm just gonna move that one because we've already taken care of that. I have here some roasted garlic. I have here diced jalapeno that has been seeded. And I have here, just because I like it, and it's a different color, it's cauliflower flowerets. And over here, let me move that down, move over. I have here mini peppers, red, orange, and here's the mini pepper. It's just been diced up and the seeds taken out. And I have here cherry tomatoes that have been cut in half. Now I'm just giving the oil time to get hot. So while we wait, I'm just gonna take this mini pepper and I'm just going to take out the seeds. I think I'm gonna use this one perhaps as a garnish. There we are. So I'll put that right back on the plate. Aren't they beautiful and just as cute as ever? Yes, yes. All right, so my oil is very, very hot here. Just gonna hold that pan for a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna add my onions. Gonna adjust that temperature. Now, I'm only using part of the red onions because I'm going to saute them and I'm going to add them directly to the farro. And the rest of the red onions, I'm going to use that to season up the red cabbage that's going into the farro. Now, another thing I did not do, and that is I did not add salt to the farro. And the reason I did not add the salt is because I'm going to add it to the onions right now. All right, and another thing I'm going to add, I'm creating yet another flavor profile, is these are already soft and roasted. If these were raw garlic, then I would have put the salt on the garlic, chopped it up, and smashed it just as I'm doing here. But I didn't need to do that because they were already roasted. This alone smells so good. Love, love, love it. So my garlic mush is ready. I love it. Get a towel. All right, let's stir. This smells so good. Now, important thing too, even when you're cooking rice, is you want to try to let the steam do its job there. So I'm going to disturb it right now to put the red onions in with the farro. Try to make sure you do that really quickly. We've got the garlic, we've got farro, we've got cherries, and we've got rosemary. We have takeoff. This is good. Okay. All right, everything's in there. I'm gonna put the lid on. Gonna shake that just a little. And I'm gonna bump it up just a little bit because I think I left the top on a little longer than I wanted to. So we have that done. Now we will get started with sauteing the vegetables. All right, so we've got our pan on. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. And I tell you, I really, really love being in the kitchen, you know. So while that oil is getting hot, I'm gonna take off the potatoes and zucchini. We're gonna have so many things going on in there. Let's do our red cabbage first. Now, we probably don't need all of it, but why not? Gonna give such a nice color. So I'm just gonna make a few cuts here. There we are. Gonna take off that center part. It's tough. Then we're just gonna cut this into bite-sized pieces. Now, so our oil is going. Let's add our red onions while we're waiting. Okay, so let's add the red cabbage. And the onions are going to just bump up the flavor of the red cabbage, which is fantastic. There we are. So we've got that going on. Now here's another tip for you. As you're sauteing all of these vegetables that are gonna be mixed with the farro, let me adjust that temperature back down. You wanna make sure that you're not over salting any of them, or you'll end up with a salty mess, and we do not want a salty mess. Okay, so, all right. Now, what we have left to do is, I wanna show you how to cut up some potatoes that we're going to dice. Yes, potatoes are going to go in there as well. I have a sweet potato here, and the reason the sweet potato is gonna go in there is it's gonna give us additional sweet taste. The cherries are tart, but if I compare the cherries to something else, then they might seem sweet. But put up a tart cherry, a tart dried cherry up against a sweet potato, and the sweet potato is the one that's sweeter. So I wanted you to see how you can cut the sweet potato. Now, of course, you can take your peeler and you can peel it. Or you can do just what I did, cut off the ends, cut it in half, and then you can go around in a circle. Now, this is what I do when I'm cutting, let's say, pineapple, cantaloupe, small mini watermelon, or if I'm just hanging about in the kitchen listening to Andrea Bocelli, yep, my favorite, or if I'm listening to an audiobook, then I just go ahead and stand and do this. All right, so we have the sweet potato peel. I am now going to just cut that slice in half, and we're gonna just do a small dice here. Now again, these are bite-sized pieces. That's what we want. Here we are. Now that we have that half of the sweet potato diced up, I'm going to peel this one, dice it up, get our red cabbage off of the stove and the potatoes into the refrigerator, and we will come back and finish up our vegetables for our rosemary and cherry farro with seasonal vegetables. I will see you in just a moment. Check out Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee to learn new delicious recipes. Watch as I show you how to use fresh ingredients for healthy eating at every meal. Check your local listings for showtimes. All right, now we have our pan on with some oil in it to continue with sauteing our vegetables, all right? So I'm going to put in now the mini peppers. And I'm going to put these two in just the way they are, because I'll use them, as I said, as a garnish or something. So we have that on. And let me turn the burner down just a bit. Beautiful. Don't you just love all these colors? I love, and I firmly believe in eating in color. All right? And we're gonna just do a pinch of salt to bring out those natural flavors. So we have our cabbage here. Tomatoes are gonna go in. Now, while we're waiting, I am going to do the zucchini. So I have here two, I don't want to say small zucchini because then you might think mini, and mini zucchini are mini zucchini, but these are on average small. So I'm just cutting off the bottom and the tops. Gonna cut it directly down the middle. Let's see, we didn't do that one, did we? All right, and then I'm gonna just do the same with the other. Now, one thing I like to do for this dish with the zucchini is I'm gonna go ahead, I cut that half in half. Let me check on the peppers. Fantastic. Oh, they smell just delicious. And this time, although I normally always use my garlic infused olive oil, this time I'm just using regular extra virgin olive oil. Wonderful. Excellent. Oh man, that smells so good. Doesn't that look beautiful? I absolutely love it. Let me get the dish so I can put that on. You know what? Let's use, we'll use this one. We'll put multiple things on this dish. How about that? There we are. All right, so I'm just gonna let that go for just a bit. Back to our zucchini. Back at the OK Corral. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop these up. This part of the zucchini, this half, I'm gonna save it and we're gonna eat that one fresh, mixed in. It's gonna add a little more texture, teeny bit of a different flavor than the sauteed zucchini. So I'm gonna take off our peppers. There we are. Beautiful. All right, there we are. We have those. Oh, that's just lovely and smells delicious. All right, I'm gonna drizzle in a little more oil. And this is very quick with the tomatoes. All right, there we are with our tomatoes. Ooh, did you ever think about that? Why they call them smartphones? Right? They're so smart. How come you have to tell them everything? Right? Okay. All right, so here we go. Still want the tomatoes to have a little bit of firmness to them. All right, so we're gonna take those out of the pan. Now, I'm using the rubber spatula, and that's a good thing because I wanna scrape up all those juices that the tomatoes are leaving behind. There we are. They're trying to leave it behind, but I'm not letting it. Okay, there we are. Now, again, old-time favorite, little EVOO. All right, and in goes the zucchini. Here we are. And these, gotcha, thought I was gonna put them in. We're gonna put them right here. There we are. However, what I will add to the cooking zucchini is the jalapenos. All right, there we are. All right, so our zucchini and jalapenos are ready. We're going to take those out. They are just so beautiful, aren't they? Oh man, oh man. You know, once you start cooking in color and eating in color, you're gonna feel so much better, and you're going to just want to do it all the time. All right, so we have a few more things that we have to saute, and that is we have the cauliflower on. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about the sweet potatoes, the little small white potatoes, very small, and I have one red potato. And I just threw that in there so the red potato wouldn't get jealous. That's all. All right, so let's stir our cauliflower. Now, here's something that you could note. I didn't add salt to the cauliflower. And look, nothing was extracted, meaning none of the natural juices that may be in there or waters, none of them were extracted because I didn't add any salt. Keep that in mind. Salt does more than just add flavor. All right, so we have that going. Let's just stir that up a bit. Another thing I like to add to my cauliflower that I'm not adding here is I like to add lemon juice. You take a lemon, squeeze some lemon juice over there, salt, pepper, delish. All right, let's get that stirred. A little bit longer. You want these not quite firm, but tender. That's what we're looking for, tender. Just like the potatoes, tender. All right, now we're gonna take our cauliflower off. Let's just put that right into the bowl. Oops, lost one. 5-second rule. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little water in there so we can get up some of these bits. I'm gonna get that cleaned up, and then we're gonna put the potatoes in here. Next, we're going to add some oil. This time I am gonna use my garlic infused oil. And we're gonna be a little more generous this time because remember, the potatoes have a little bit of starch still left in them, and we wanna get that all done. Now, while we are waiting for that oil to get hot and for the potatoes to go in, we are going to get started with mixing up everything. All right, here we are. Here, I don't need that. I'm going to move the pot. Look at that beautiful, beautiful farro. So let me just get something so I can handle the heat. Let's put that right in the center. Also, my oil is hot enough. Let me put my potatoes in there. All right, there we are with the potatoes. But isn't this beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, you can, if you'd like, see that? Just take that stem out and drop it away. Smells so very good. All right, I'm just gonna, look at that. Look at how it just fluffs up. Let me see if I can get up there. Look at that. Just fluffy. Call it fluffy. Okay, so we're going to add, let's do, now what I like to do is just add some of the ingredients to it because I like to top it off with some additional ingredients that we have remaining or extra ingredients for garnish purposes, and some people might like this and want that more of that, you know. So I'm just gonna put some of them on there. Let's do that. Excellent. I'm also going to add some of the beautiful cabbage. There we are. And I'm going to add all of the cooked zucchini because we have some of the uncooked zucchini to be added, and all of the cauliflower. And you say, hey, what happened to the farro? It's here. Let's get that stirred. Woohoo! Love it. This is beautiful. This smells so, so delicious. What does delicious smell like? Tasty. Very nice little bite and everything to it. I just love this dish. Absolutely love it. So we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of salt. Sprinkle in a little pepper. Now, what we are going to do from here is we are going to take a very quick station break. We are going to add our potatoes to the farro mixture, that beautiful rainbow over there. And then we're going to do my favorite thing, which is to chow down. We are going to eat. So I will see you in just a few moments. Hi, Chef Renee here. You can now watch Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee directly from your computer, tablet, or phone. Just visit us at www.wintv.org. Go to What's New on WinTV, then select WinTV On Demand. Then click Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee. You can watch any episode you'd like, going all the way back to season 1. So throw out your TVs and check us out online. Huh? Just kidding. Don't throw out your TVs. I didn't say that. All right, we are back and we are finishing up with our rosemary and cherry farro and seasonal vegetables. And we are down to what I like to do best, which is eat. All right, and I have the cabbage. I'm going to take a little snippet of rosemary. I'm going to add it right there. And one other thing that I like to add to this. Now, feel free for this dish. You can top it with chicken. You can top it with avocado. You can top it with beets, which I have done, and goat cheese, which is just fabulous. Or you can grill a lemon half and then just squeeze the lemon juice atop. Either way, it's fabulous. I'm going to add a little goat cheese to mine today. Yeah. But not just goat cheese. Wait for it. All right. How beautiful is that? Isn't it just gorgeous? Gorgeous. All right, so we're going to put that down. And what is goat cheese without balsamic glaze? Bam! That is it. Okay, so I'm going to dig in. Oh, but before I do that, because I'm sure I'm just going to be taken to somewhere else, I want to thank today all of my sponsors. I want to thank you for joining me and allowing me into your home. I'd love to hear from you. Try it. Try any of the recipes and let me know what you think. You can find this recipe and others at simplyfreshfoodwithchefrenee.com. That's simplyfreshfoodwithchefrenee.com. Or if you want to see me again, you can just go to wintv.org. You can watch this episode or any episode. I'll see you next time.
Simply Fresh Foods with Chef Renee is sponsored by Red Tail Heart and Bull Wrap Cookware.